What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have some sad news in today's video. Mike Trout, this dude and his fan base cannot catch a break. He's done for the rest of 2024, and now we have to talk about the rest of his career. The Orioles, they made a trade a couple days ago for a starting pitcher, and a lot of Orioles fans were saying, hey, we gave up too much, and well, he did not have the best first impression in his first start. In response, the Orioles are pushing that big red button, and they're calling up one of the more freakish hitters in all of minor league baseball, Bobby Witt Jr. Speaking of freaks, he's looking like the right-handed Ichiro, but with power. I'm not even playing around. And Chef Bellinger, he might be back. Cody, he's been cooking lately, and he might have just saved the Cubs season. We're going to talk about all of that and more in today's MLB recap, but don't forget, Recap is brought to you by SeatGeek. Save yourself 20 bucks off on baseball games, concerts, plays using code Fuzzy. And if you like daily fantasy sports, don't forget to use code Fuzzy when you download Underdog Fantasy. They'll match your first deposit up to $250, and you'll get a free pick'em on me. I cannot believe I'm saying this. Mike Trout has another torn meniscus. Again, if that sounds familiar, it's because he's already torn a meniscus this year. He's going to miss the rest of 2024. So since 2021, over the last 4 seasons, he's played in a grand total of 41 second half games. And honestly, between Albert Pujols, Anthony Rendon, Justin Upton, Josh Hamilton, Mike Trout, are the Angels just suffering from all-time bad luck when it comes to signing players or giving them extensions and big-time contracts? Like, I'm not calling for anyone's job. Is it luck, or is it the medical staff literally taking these guys and snapping them over their knees? What's going on? Mike Trout is all of a sudden becoming a what-if guy, not a Troy Tulowitzki what-if guy or a Grady Sizemore what-if guy. So those are really talented players, but they didn't put up the stats to garner Hall of Fame consideration. This is a what-if situation like Ken Griffey Jr. Could Ken have gotten to the 800 home run club, the first player and the only player to ever do that? What about Mike Trout? Could he have gone 500? That's 500 home runs, 500 stolen bases. The new base rules 100% could have boosted up his stolen base totals, but we'll never get to know that because I don't think the Angels are ever going to let Mike Trout steal a base ever again. And this guy is owed like $37 million for the next few years. So for his sake and the Angels fan base, I'm hoping that he bounces back and hits 90 home runs in 2025. All right, so let's see what the Halos did last night. Stay tuned for after the game because they actually made a surprising move. And you know what's not surprising? Ezequiel Tovar stealing base hits. By the way, he just turned 22 years old. It was his birthday. Wait, he either turned 22 or 23. Let me check. He turned 23 years old. My bad. Michael Toglia, this is not surprising either. He's got 19 home runs. And by the way, over his last 48 games, he's got 15 home runs, 32 RBIs, and an 860 OPS. That's really good. Logan O'Hoppe, he's a catcher who's batting .280 with 16 home runs and a 121 OPS plus. That ball went 454 feet. A huge tip of the cap to Carson Fulmer, who struggled to begin his career, and maybe struggling is an understatement. He was the 8th overall pick in 2015. He had a 6.5 ERA from 2016 to 2021. He had 8 strikeouts in this game, and he has a 3.5 ERA since joining the Angels last year. Mickey Moniak and Taylor Ward, they won the game. Mickey Moniak had a solo home run, and Taylor Ward's RBI double put this game on ice. The Halos definitely don't need Carlos Estevez. Oh no. Jake Cave, he hit one to the Rocks in center. We are tied at 4. This game's going to extras. The Rockies dropped down a bunt and Kraus threw it away. Everyone's safe. Kinley, he caught a ball between his legs. He was not going to get nutmegged. That's a tough loss if you're an Angels fan. I'm so sorry. Now, I guess some good news for Angels fans. Angels first rounder and 8th overall pick this year, Christian Moore, he was promoted to Double-A after just 2 games. And by the way, in college, he hit .375 with 34 home runs this past year at Tennessee. He had a double, a triple, a home run, and 6 RBIs in 2 A-ball games. And the Angels said, yep, you're getting called up. And they're no stranger to this because I believe Chase Silseth, Nolan Schanuel, and Zach Neto were all promoted basically within a year. I think Silseth and Schanuel even skipped Triple-A. Imagine Christian Moore skipping Triple-A and actually raking in the big leagues. I hope it happens. Angels fans deserve that. Now, one other roster move we do have to talk about. Kobe Mayo has been promoted to the big leagues. One of my favorite prospects of all time. He was actually one of the first prospects I really started investing into years ago back in 2021. I even have a purple refractor autograph, which I need to grade ASAP. Kobe Mayo last year had 45 5 doubles and 29 home runs. This year, he's batting .310 with 25 doubles already, 23 home runs, a 1.003 OPS. Anytime you say 1 dot, that is insane. What the Orioles have done recently between Adley, Gunnar, Jordan Westburg, even guys they traded like Joey Ortiz, I think that Connor Norby is going to be pretty good. I've never in my life seen a franchise hit on so many picks within a 3 or 4 year window. It's insane. And I really think that Kobe Mayo is going to be like a JD Martinez type hitter. So the Orioles did that because, well, yesterday did not go well at all. I mean, it started off swell with Gunnar. He ripped one to the gap, but Quan, he singled. Lane Thomas doubled, and it's quickly 1-1 after J-Ram lifted a sac fly to deep center. Both guys tag up. Lane is fast, so he gets to third base. He probably scores on this Josh Naylor single without even tagging. Now, skipping to the third, J-Ram and Naylor got on. David Fry, he's standing at the dish. Let me remind you all, every day is Friday. That is a 5 spot off the newly acquired Trevor Rogers. Just kind of a nightmare trade thus far because they traded away Connor Norby. Then Jordan Westburg went down. Norby could have been playing for Jordan Westburg. Trevor Rogers looked like batting practice Rogers. I mean, this is cool, though. Tony Taters, he reminded Cleveland fans what they're missing out on because if you don't remember, Baltimore, they stole him in the 2016 Rule 5 draft. He has 32 home runs and a 126 OPS plus since 2022. At least we didn't let this guy go. There were rumblings that Jose was almost a Blue Jay a couple seasons ago, but then he inked a historically team-friendly deal, and he will never pay for a meal in the city of Cleveland for the rest of forever. He joins Aaron Judge as the only 2 hitters in Major League Baseball right now with 90-plus RBIs. Bo Naylor, that's back-to-back games with the 3-run home run. He's got 5 home runs and an 820 OPS since the middle of June. He's also one of the best framers in baseball. I don't know if this was a great framer that umpire needs to be fired or if that's rookie hazing. What was that? I'm just going to say this. Lane Thomas being the 2-hitter is actually changing life because he's already got 4 swings of 100+5 miles an hour in terms of exit velocity. Please let this last, baseball gods. Please. Because if foots are let off the gas, Kansas City will surpass everyone. The Twins, the Guardians. It's hard to put into words what Bobby Witt Jr. has done since the All-Star break and even before that. And now Vinny Pasquantino, he's remembered how to hit home runs. He took the 9-iron out for this swing, and heading to the 8th inning, I guess, Bobby Witt Jr. is doing Bobby Witt Jr. things. He probably hit that baseball 150 miles an hour, no BS. That ball got out before I could blink. Okay, I'm being a little bit dramatic. Vinny, another home run, this time on a sinker. He twisted the hips, back-to-back home runs. That's 9 RBIs over his last 3 games. Seth Lugo, he has eaten the AL Central alive this year. He's now 7-0 with a 1-something ERA. I will say, though, he's got a 1.8 ERA against teams under 500, a near 3.5 ERA versus teams above 500. So keep that in mind come playoff time if they make the playoffs. I think they are going to make the playoffs as a wild card team. Either way, that's just coping from me, a Guardians fan, because this kid is ridiculous. Bobby is hitting .394 with 100 base hits, 39 extra base hits, 55 RBIs, 9 stolen bases, and 11-17 OPS over his last 63 games. Over 162, that would be 257 base hits, 99 extra base hits, 141 RBIs. He's quite literally been Ichiro with power. If you extrapolate his numbers over the last 25 games, he would have 317 hits. He's batting .500 the last month. Hey guys, we might have a big problem on our hands because the Braves, I don't know if they went to the same mindset therapist as Vinny Pasquantino, but they had their memories joggled and they were told, hey, you're the Braves. And they remembered how to hit home runs as well. Austin Riley, home run. Matt Olson, another home run. Austin now has 12 home runs in his last 150 at-bats. Olson has 5 home runs his last 6 games. Orlando Arcia secured a 12-game hit streak with his 3rd home run of the week. And Charlie Morton, he was vintage Uncle Charlie. 6 innings, 6 strikeouts. The ageless wonders just keeps on eating inning after inning after inning. Since his age 33 season, he's thrown 1,180 innings. He has a 3.5 ERA over that stretch. The Astros, they got him in 2017 and they fixed his spin rate. And ever since that point, he's been really good. Raisel Iglesias, speaking of being really good for a long time, he has a 1.7 ERA and 23 saves this year. Since 2016, he has a 2.6 ERA and 200 213 saves. He also has 663 strikeouts and 545 innings. The Braves have won 3 games in a row. The Phillies have lost 4 games in a row. So the Braves, they're now 6 games back of first place. Here we go. One of the most important series of the second half. There's about 51 games left, so still some time to make up some ground, but the Cubs are 7 games back of a wild card. They have no choice but to win this game. Goldie, is he back? That's 10 extra base hits over his last 19. He's also hitting .310 over that stretch. Imagine if he gets hot when they need him the most. Dansby, he's trying to erase a bad first half as well. He ties it with a single. Oh my, what a bomb from Seiya Suzuki. He almost went 460 feet, his 16th home run. He might be the most underrated hitter in all of baseball. Shota, he's been given the lead, and he was nasty after that Goldie solo home run. 6 strikeouts through 6, no walks. He's back out for, I think, the 7th or 8th inning, something like that. He's back out for the 7th inning, but Mason wanted to win. Mason win with the 2-run laser into the netting in left field that ends Shota's night. And Jorge Lopez, who I will say has been very, very good for the Cubs. If you guys don't remember, he was the Mets pitcher that threw his glove into the stands, and then everyone thought that he said he's on the worst team in baseball, but I don't think he said that. Regardless, he was really good with the Cubs before that, and wow. That Arenado RBI ended up being really clutch because he saved his team from being walked off. Now, before we show that, a tip of the cap to Sonny Gray. He went 7 innings with 9 strikeouts. He was in line for the W, but like I said, Nolan's RBI saved them from a walk-off. Cody Bellinger again. Belly bombs are back. He's been on fire. He's hitting nearly .370 with 8 RBIs over the last 11 games. So without that home run, Dansby would have made it 5-4, but he's fired up because he just tied the game at 5-5. His 2-bagger brings in Nico Horner, so we're all tied up at 4-4, and now we are talking. Mike Tauchman walks it off. Ryan Helsley has a 4 ERA since late May. The Cubs have won 2 games in a row. They're 6 games back of a wild card, so they're still teetering on, are they going to make the playoffs or are they not? They have a lot of talent on paper. So those were the only games from yesterday, so let's do a full-blown update on the stat leaders and standings across Major League Baseball. Bobby Witt Jr. has stormed the castle. He's leading everyone with a .350 batting average. He's got 20 home runs, almost 30 stolen bases. Quan, he's down to .333. Judge, Vladdy, and Juan Soto are rounding out the top 5. We have Seth Lugo and Chris Sale tied with Grayson Rodriguez at 13 Ws. I think Tarek is facing off against Cole Reagans today, so that should be a really fun matchup. Home runs, obviously it's Aaron Judge, but Tony Taters is tied with Ohtani at 32. Ozuna and Ohtani are going to be battling for that triple crown. J-Ram has 28. ERA, so there it is. Terry Skubal is the #1 guy in ERA with a 2.35 ERA. Then you have Burns, Lugo, Sale, and Tanner Houck. RBIs, Judge and J-Ram, we already talked about that. The only 2 guys with 90+. Saves, Ryan Helsley is tied with Emmanuel Clase because Clase has been lights out all over again, despite the fact that he's not really striking out a lot of guys. Then you have Finnegan, Kimbrel, and Robert Suarez. Bobby Witt Jr., obviously he's #1 in base hits with 153 already. The dude's on pace for, I think, 200 right now. Dylan Cease is leading everyone with 174 strikeouts. Ellie has 55 stolen bases. There are some freaks in this game. So with that Orioles loss yesterday, they are retied with the Yankees for first place in the AL East. They were both 65 and 45. The Red Sox, they did win the last game that they played, so they're 6.5 games back. Then you have the Rays and the Blue Jays. I don't know why the Jays did not trade Vladimir Guerrero Jr. because he's been on an all-time hot streak for Vladdy standards. The Guardians, they are 6 games up on the Royals, but they've both won 4 games in a row. Even the Twins won the last time that we saw them. The White Sox have lost 17 games in a row. The Astros and the Mariners are tied for first place, just like the Orioles and the Yankees. Then you have the Rangers on a 2-game losing streak. They're 4.5 games back. The Phillies, we talked about that already. They're 6 games up on the Braves because the Phillies have lost 4 in a row. The Braves have won 3 in a row. The Brewers are 5.5 games up on the Cardinals, but everyone's pretty much been losing in that division aside from the Cubs. They've won 2 games in a row. And then the Dodgers, they're only 4.5 games up on the Padres because the Dodgers have lost 2 in a row. The Padres are shrieking. The Diamondbacks are on fire as well. They have one of the best records in baseball since the end of June. I love baseball. And to make things even more interesting, the wild card is spicy. The Red Sox, the Mariners, and the Rays are all within 4.5 games. I don't know if the Rangers are going to go for a wild card spot because they have a better chance at the crown in the AL West. In terms of the NL wild card, we have the Braves, the Padres, the Diamondbacks in it right now, but the Mets, the Cardinals, the Pirates, the Giants are all within 5 games, and then the Reds, they're 5.5 games back. The Cubs, they've won 2 games in a row. Can they make a comeback? I like the third wild card team. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's fun. Because we haven't done this in a while, we are going to guess the pitcher as well as guess the hitter. I don't know who that pitcher is. We're going to go to the... Oh, that's Arenado. That's 100% Arenado, right? If that's not Arenado, I am calling BS because we literally just saw him today. Yeah, the backswing and the follow-through, that's 100% Arenado. That was fairly easy. Now, when it comes to the pitcher, I feel like... Oh, no, I don't think I'm going to get this. I'm thinking Taijuan Walker, but I don't think that's Taijuan. Who the heck is this? It's not Dylan Cease. Who goes over the head like that? Is that someone that we saw today as well? Is this Seth Lugo? I don't know. I should have been paying more attention to the highlights. I don't know if that's... So it's not Seth Lugo. It's a American-born starting pitcher who's in the AL. I actually don't know who this is. Is it Kevin Gausman? I don't know who this is. Chris Bassett? No, it's not Chris Bassett. I don't know who this is. I'll go Gausman just to see if I can try and get a division right. So it's not the Central. It's not the East. So it's got to be the West. So we got the Astros, the Mariners, the Angels. Is this Hunter Brown? I'm going to guess Hunter Brown. You guys are probably embarrassed by my performance. It's not Hunter Brown, but it is the AL West. And again, it's a starting pitcher. I don't know who this is. Wait. Is this Griffin Canning? There's no way they expect me to know Griffin Canning. Huh? Well, everyone, let me know in the comments if you got that right. And if you enjoyed today's recap, do me a quick favor because it really helps out the channel. Leave a like. If you're brand new, hit that subscribe button and enjoy the web gems.
Fastball slider mix because these guys
could be two. Keith to short. Grindler to first.
That one a ball and caught at third by Arenado, who is even with...
Well, this might be two and get him out of this inning. On his second for one. Yeah.
Diving stop at third by Urshela, sitting down.